Can you prevent strokes? Most people who lead a full and healthy life assume that no accident will happen to them in the future. At the very least, they don't recognize the odds that something could happen to them. In most cases, the positive is more likely than the negative, and this is largely true when it comes to strokes. Strokes. In simplest terms, a stroke is a loss of blood circulation to the brain. The risks increase according to how long the brain is deprived of oxygen due to the lack of blood flow. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, a stroke is one of the most common cardiovascular disorders in the world, even more so than heart disease. They also claim that it's one of the leading causes of death worldwide. The people who are most affected by a stroke are between 40 and 60 years old. They can also manifest as heart attacks or blood clots. Types of stroke. A stroke can be further divided into two types. Ischemic stroke. These are caused by arterial blockages. According to the American Heart Association, they account for 87% of all strokes. Hemorrhagic stroke. This type is caused by a burst blood vessel, whether it occurs in the brain or elsewhere. Causes of a stroke. No person is immune from the risk of a stroke in their lifetime. People in the age range mentioned above are more likely to suffer from them. There are also a number of factors that can be decisive in determining your risk of a stroke. Lack of physical activity. Not getting the minimum or basic amount of exercise has a significant influence. Excessive weight gain or obesity. The heavier you are, the greater your chances of suffering from a stroke. Gender. Generally speaking, men are more at risk of having a stroke than women, although they too can suffer. Pregnancy. During and a few weeks after a pregnancy, the chances of suffering from a stroke increase. Genetics. If your parents have had a stroke, you are more likely to, as well. Certain diseases, atrial fibrillation, diabetes, stress, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. Problems related to the circulatory system, artificial valves, transplants, or weak arteries. Smoking. Is it possible to prevent a stroke? To minimize your likelihood of suffering from this problem, you can take a number of recommendations into account. Avoid tobacco use. It's critically important to avoid the immense damage that tobacco products can do to the body, especially when it comes to your circulatory system and the possibility of having a stroke. A key recommendation is to quit all tobacco use. If it's hard for you to do now, at least try to reduce it gradually. Get exercise. Equally important is getting a minimum amount of physical activity to lead a life that's filled with healthy habits. Getting at least 30 minutes of exercise a day will lessen your chances of suffering from this problem. Maintain or reduce your body weight. This advice depends on the person, because not everyone should weigh the same. If you're obese or overweight, however, you must try to reduce it slowly. If you're within the normal weight range that's considered to be healthy, try to stay there. Avoid drug use. Both legal and illegal drugs can pose huge risks to your body. If you require certain medications, make sure that they have been prescribed by a specialist. A healthy diet. Having a healthy and balanced diet is essential for good health. To reduce your risk of suffering from a stroke, try to add the following to your daily diet: fruits, whole grains, protein, chicken, fish, vegetables. Also avoid processed, packaged foods and those with high levels of harmful fats. High blood pressure? Drinking cherry juice is as good as medication, study claims. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 U.S. adults suffers from high blood pressure. That's around 70 million people. Only 1/2 of those suffering with high blood pressure actually have their condition under control, and treating high blood pressure costs the U.S. $46 billion every year. A recent study reported on by the Daily Mail has found that something as simple and cheap as drinking cherry juice is just as good as the medications that are usually prescribed to help people suffering with high blood pressure to get their condition under control. This is fantastic news, and supports the growing body of evidence that natural remedies actually work better than allopathic medications. Drinking cherry juice. As reported by the Daily Mail, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who drank 60 milliliters of cherry concentrate diluted with water actually saw their blood pressure drop by 7% within 3 hours. Scientists think that this is enough to slash the risk of stroke by 38%, and reduce the chance of developing heart disease by 23%. The scientists at Northumbria University that were responsible for the study say that the results seen are similar to those achieved by taking blood pressure medication. The scientists think that the reason that cherry juice has such a strong impact on blood pressure is that it is rich in phenolic acids, which are a type of antioxidant. The study found that the greatest improvement in blood pressure occurred when 2 of the phenolic acids present in cherry juice reached peak levels in the patient's bloodstream, protocatechic and vanillic acid. The lead scientist, Karen Keene, stated that the majority of cardiovascular disease is caused by risk factors that can be controlled, treated or modified. These include high blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity, tobacco use, lack of physical activity and diabetes. Raised blood pressure is the leading cause of deaths from cardiovascular disease, yet relatively small reductions in blood pressure can have a large impact on mortality rates. Other natural remedies for high blood pressure. There are a few amazing foods that, when incorporated into your diet, can help alleviate high blood pressure and reduce the need for prescription medication. One example is passion fruit. While blood pressure medications have been shown to help reduce high blood pressure, many of them also have side effects. The following foods have been proven to help lower blood pressure without side effects. Watermelons, proven to prevent arterial walls and veins from hardening, according to a study published in the American Journal of Hypertension, as reported by Top 10 Grocery Secrets. Amino acid L-citrulline is also found in watermelon, and can help normalize blood pressure. Blueberries, now labeled a superfood, blueberries have more antioxidants than any other berries, and can help lower high blood pressure by fighting against free radicals. Avocados, full of potassium and magnesium, which are important minerals for lowering blood pressure. Broccoli, packed with fiber, potassium, calcium, magnesium and vitamin C. Broccoli also contains sulforaphane glucosinolate, SGS, which has been proven to significantly improve blood pressure and kidney function. Kiwi, this small but mighty fruit contains lutein, which is a powerful antioxidant that lowers blood pressure. Dark chocolate, probably the favorite on the list of foods that help lower blood pressure. Dark chocolate contains antioxidants known as flavonoids that fight free radicals and improve the elasticity of the blood vessels. Incorporating the above healthy foods into your diet can help prevent and combat high blood pressure, along with all the associated illnesses that are caused by the condition. Combating blood pressure with herbs. Controlling blood pressure with herbs is an important option, considering that 1 in 4 people in the United States suffers from high blood pressure. Many lose their lives to this silent killer every year. It is one of the leading contributors to heart disease, and is not always obvious. It is exacerbated by unhealthy living, smoking, fatty foods, excessive drinking and stress. High intake of salt and other products contributes to the problem. Avoid covering the problem. The use of herbs to control high blood pressure aids in reducing high cholesterol and helps blood flow. Using natural methods to control blood pressure is best for the body. Most drugs only cover up the problem, encouraging the body to build up the resistance. Herbs are natural foods giving the body nutrients, solving the nutritional factor that may be feeding the blood pressure problem. Garlic is one of those herbs. People jokingly say garlic is a repellent of friends and other objects, but garlic keeps an abundance of unwanted health problems away from the body. Herbs detoxify. Use herbs to detox the body. A huge problem with blood flow is inflammation. Once this problem is solved, the body can get necessary vitamins to affected areas. When preparing foods, include more onions, peppers and spices. These herbs are beneficial to the body. Basil, oregano and cinnamon are also helpful. Blend these herbs into as many dishes as possible and reduce salt and sugar intake. Too many foods are prepackaged with these products, so read labels. Reduce the inflammation. Cardamom, olives and ginger work great, reducing inflammation in the body, bringing down blood pressure. Turmeric, hawthorn and celery seed aid in this process. People with a healthy diet of vegetables have far less trouble with blood pressure than most. This shows that eating a large amount of vegetables is a way of getting a variety of nutrients, also found in herbs, into the body. It is not enough to know about helpful herbs, use them for better health. Herbs used for seasonings are basic to many kitchen cupboards: rosemary, elderberry, lemon balm and many others. Chamomile is popular as a soothing tea. Some herbs are more common than others, and should be taken sparingly. Everyone responds differently. For example, garlic is good for the body. It is a natural antibiotic, but it is also a blood thinner, and should not be eaten excessively. Herbs are one of the least expensive foods on the market. They can be grown on a kitchen windowsill, or in a few flower pots in a favorite sitting area. Thousands of people use grow lights to keep herb gardens when living in apartments, and others use small greenhouses available at local garden shops to grow herbs year-round. Many neighborhoods have rooftop gardens or community gardens that satisfy the need for potent herbs. These plants are helpful to the body, and they can be acquired no matter how tight the budget, with a little effort. They are also fun, and simple to grow.